Hello.
Sam, what you doing?
Nothing laid down. My heart beating.
You at home?
Yeah, I'm at home.
What's up with you, baby? I miss your pen.
I don't know. I wasn't expecting your call. So my heart is beating fast right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy that I make you feel like that for sure.
Crazy.
I wonder what the fuck your heart gonna do when I see you.
Oh my God, I don't know. Know what I would do.
I wonder what that
Oh
shit
my
gonna do.
gosh. You said what?
I wonder what your shit gonna do when I see you.
I have no idea. Oh my gosh. It's ridiculous.
Why do you think it's ridiculous? I like it.
I mean, it's good, but like, it still happens. Like, what? For like 2 years.
Yeah, it's definitely been 2 years.
That's crazy.
Yes. When you plan on having kids? Like what age?
Can you get out?
Tell you. But
When you come home, I have kids.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
I love
Monday.
you.
Love you more.
Let's be real. This wasn't supposed to end like this. Mariah the scientist spent years proving she was in young Thugg's corner when the world wasn't. She showed up, spoke up, and stood up. And then a wave of leaked jail calls dropped like a hammer. People thought the headline was the messy comments and the industry shade. It wasn't. The gut punch was the timing, a call where Thugg admits he stepped out the day before as he was taken in during 2022. That single detail reframed everything. Before the chaos, they were Atlanta's complicated love story. Mariah reached out for a collab in 2021. By fall, they weren't just talking music, they were locked in. When the RICO case hit in May 2022, she doubled down instead of fading out. Court appearances, interviews, onstage shout-outs. The entire internet saw her hold the line. However you feel about the case, that's loyalty on display. But the leak wave would test that loyalty in a way nobody saw coming. The calls don't sound like media-trained statements. They sound like late-night brain dumps, frustration about charts, cold reads on peers, and a fixation on numbers that made timelines go nuclear. Industry folks started dissecting every second, the shade, the stream talk, the casual bravado. It wasn't one leak, it was a rolling thunderstorm exposing not just drama, but the raw machinery of ego, rivalry, and survival in rap. That's why it stuck. The calls felt too real to ignore. And then came the one clip you couldn't spin, a confession with a date stamp. In the most explosive call, Thugg straight up admits he cheated the day before he got locked up in May 2022. You can argue context all day, but dates are dates. And that's what wrecked the narrative. For fans who watched Mariah carry the weight through 2022 and 2023, that timing felt like a betrayal with a calendar attached. There's no way to make that sting feel smaller. If that was the detonation, the aftershocks were the rumors about who else was on those phone lines. Online, people swear they've matched voices, timelines, and IG breadcrumbs to a particular woman. There's talk of a past viral "Am I Your Baby" moment, alleged club tension, and a sudden account vanish after the new audio surfaced. Here's the line we won't cross. Without verified reporting, those details stay labeled alleged and unconfirmed. What's not in dispute is this: the leaks show multiple private conversations and affectionate language with someone who wasn't Mariah, and that alone was enough to torch the comment section. Treat everything beyond the audio itself as rumor. Don't harass anybody. While the internet played detective, another question caught fire. Who keeps feeding these clips to the timeline? A familiar industry lightning rod stepped into the frame. Whack 100 basically hinted he's been behind some of these releases, not necessarily the only one, but a key valve in the pipeline. The motive, depending on who you ask, it ranges from payback to pure clout economy. Either way, the effect is the same. Every fresh drop reopens the wound and pushes the narrative further from music and closer to spectacle. And then, in the middle of the frenzy, Thugg tried to steer the conversation back to the person most impacted. Thugg posted a direct apology to Mariah. "I was wrong, you deserve better," and a plea to leave her out of it. For some fans, that read as accountability. For others, it felt too late, overshadowed by the call itself. The timeline did what timelines do, picked sides, made edits, and argued over whether a public "I'm sorry" fixes a private fracture, especially when the receipts are time-stamped. Either way, the apology landed and the story shifted from what happened to what happens next. And while everyone debated the relationship, Mariah did something else entirely. She got back to work. If you listen to Heart Sold separately, you can feel the pen sharpened by experience. The album arrived August 22nd, 2025. Critics highlighted the moody, textured production and the honesty. Burning Blue had already made noise, and Is It a Crime with Kali Uchis gave the project a second wind. The R&B metrics followed. Multiple tracks charting, strong first-week performance relative to the genre, and a sense that Mariah finally has the win at her back on her terms. In other words, real life got messy, the music got focused. But there's one person who can't outrun the leaks: Thugg. So what does this mean for him? Artists have survived worse, but not everyone survives tape. Leaks flatten nuance. They also linger. Algorithms will keep resurfacing these calls long after the apologies stop trending. Industry peers are already split. Some defend quietly, others distance publicly. The bigger risk isn't one scandal, it's erosion, trust, mystique, and the idea that success is earned, not engineered. A classic comeback arc would require silence, discipline, and music that makes people forget the mess. The calls, though, make silence harder and discipline public. That's the real challenge. At the end of the day, apologies can trend, but trust doesn't. Mariah carried the weight in public. The leaks handed her a different kind of spotlight, and she used it not for a rant, but for a record. Thugg's path forward is narrower than before, not because of haters, but because dates don't lie and audio doesn't blink. Can a public "I'm sorry" ever fix a private calendar? Or is this the moment where one artist turns a personal loss into a career-defining run while another has to fight the echo of his own voice? Drop your take in the comments and keep it respectful.